What if trading becomes your meditation practice? Let me just show you what I mean by that. Leave this audio on and pull up a chart on your screen. This might be whatever chart you want. Maybe a live one, maybe not. Maybe a recent trade or some future trade that you're contemplating. Before we start this exercise, make sure you're in a quiet environment. Then sit back and relax and keep your eyes on the chart. Now, slowly start to bring your attention into your body. Start by becoming aware of your breath. We do this as a way of settling into the awareness of the body without exerting any control over the breath. Let it come to its own natural rhythm. Simply be aware or feel the sensations of each breath as it comes into the body, as it leaves the body. As you feel the breath going in and out, you are also fully aware of that chart in front of you. Take a moment to look into whatever is arising in the mind as a result of looking at that chart. There might be some thoughts in the mind, maybe hopes, dreams, goals, aspirations, maybe a sense of knowing where price is headed next, maybe a sense of wanting things to happen a certain way, quite possibly some fear of missing out as well, fear of loss, of being wrong, maybe greed. Just try to pay careful attention to those different feelings that arise in the mind and the body as your eyes capture what really is just light, which is then converted into electrical impulses that are then sent to your brain via the optical nerves. It's just fascinating how complex and efficient our bodies are. Some information comes to your senses, whether it's seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, and then somehow it registers some thoughts in the mind which evoke either pleasant or unpleasant memories, projections, and attached to those are feelings in the body. Open your awareness to those feelings as you stare at that chart. See how those are superimposed in some very real sense on what you're actually seeing. These feelings and thoughts are the reason why you cannot execute your trades properly, why you cannot manage them properly, why you act compulsively, why you consistently deviate from your plan. And this happens because most of the time, to some degree, those feelings are left unacknowledged. So let's acknowledge them here and see what they're all about. What we're going to do first is look for the observer amidst all those changing thoughts and feelings and sensations. What I mean by that is that there is an inherent quality of the mind to observe things that are arising in awareness unconditionally without judgment. Most of the time, people don't even suspect that there is a way to look into the mind as opposed to looking out of the mind, from in to out. We have this very strong habit to take thoughts and feelings, to be I, to be who we are. That's what it is to look out of the mind. So see if you can relax as much as possible this mechanism of looking out of the mind, which results in the identification with thoughts and feelings. See if you can tune into that observing quality of the mind. You're looking inwards, not outwards. This means that when thoughts and emotions arise, you are only witnessing those, not taking them to be who you are. You are passively observing without judgment, not wanting things to be different, just gentle awareness. Let's say some impatience arises in the mind. You make a mental note, impatience, to emphasize the seeing of impatience instead of getting lost in it. Without judgment, you observe the thoughts that are leading to this feeling of impatience. As the thought fades away, you then redirect your attention to your body. Where do you feel that feeling you call impatience? There is always some place in the body where you feel emotions, some kind of signature. And these might be feelings of pressure, tightness, of tingling, of vibration at the level of the guts, the chest, maybe, quite possibly the hands. Breathing might feel uneasy. Whatever it is, here's the thing, do absolutely nothing with whatever arises. So, whatever you're feeling, just let it hang there in space. Let it be as it is without putting any good or bad labels on it, without trying to change it. Observe the nature of this inner phenomenon you call emotions. If you pay attention, what you'll see is that an emotion, whatever it is, originate with a thought. And that thought is followed by some mere physical sensations. Observe that. Just sit here with me, doing absolutely nothing. Just feeling whatever you're feeling, tuning into this totally effortless being that is looking at that chart and also looking objectively at his various changing inner states. Whatever is there in your body, whatever sensations or emotions or thoughts that are generated, just gently be aware of them. Nothing else is required. This doesn't require the intellect at all. There's nothing to be known or understood about what we're doing. It's just the experience of being. It's just It's just experiencing the experience in its raw state. What you're doing here is that you're getting into the habit of seeing things for what they are, not through your conditioned filters. You are also getting into the habit of making conscious a process that usually isn't, so that you're able to disarm compulsive habits, so that you're able to follow your plan instead of what you feel like doing. Whatever you feel like doing whenever you're trading is generally the wrong thing to do. It's based on many cognitive biases and thoughts and emotions, which can have an uneasy relationship with facts. And that is why you have a plan in the first place. It's there to give structure to the way you trade so that you're not at the mercy of emotions, of thoughts. But the plan is worthless if you don't apply it, my friends. So, with such a practice, soon enough, what you'll discover, if you haven't already, is that thoughts and feelings, when you understand their nature, when they when they are acknowledged, they lose their power over you. So you don't have to act a certain way, remove a stop, or hesitate, or whatever. You don't have to act to make these sometimes very strong feelings go away. No, you just sit with them and you let them be. So that is it. That this is how uh, you meditate while trading, and this is something you can do all the time when you're trading. As you see, it's just a practice of awareness which you can develop and get better at. When you're able to do that, trading becomes a completely different thing for you. Your experience of it becomes synonymous to the, I would say, proverbial quote unquote oneness with the markets. Because as you get better at this through practice, when you're able to cultivate this non judgmental, observing quality of your mind, you'll begin to see the non duality of the markets and on a broader level of life itself. So, whatever happens in the markets or in life, the mind doesn't move, it's stable, it's objective because it sees through the illusion of thoughts and emotions, it sees through the illusion of ego. So, before I end this, I want you to really understand this. This is not about bypassing emotions and thoughts and not feeling anything. Because some of you might think, well, Ivan, if we just pretend that there's nothing there, if we are just avoiding thoughts and emotions, how can we even trade in the first place? Aren't we just brain dead? Because you need, obviously, thoughts and emotions to operate in the world. Well, don't speak too soon because that is not what we're doing in this practice. We are not trying to avoid thoughts and emotions. This is not a little mind trick that we use to not feel anything. No, 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 this goes deeper. We are actually investigating reality as it is. And because of that, in genuine moments of mindfulness, there is no greed, there is no fear, no delusions. Those are only concepts, anyways. There's only sensations being felt because the sensations have no polarity, no good or bad labels, right? So you are just at one with experience. So, this observing power of the mind is always wholesome. You're not avoiding anything. Quite the opposite. You are very present with everything. Most of us are not so much paying attention in our lives to see which states of mind are wholesome and which aren't. Usually, we're so busy caught in our lives that we are simply acting out of familiar patterns of conditioning. This practice helps with that. It helps you to see beyond those patterns. If you're interested in more of that, you can join my little growing community of traders who know the importance of a balanced mindset when trading. You will see the link below. This is inherently a 2-week program, but the practice that you'll learn is much, much more than that. It is a lifelong practice that will radically change your life, let alone the way you trade. And I mean, the program will be updated soon before the end of the year. So new lessons, new lectures will be available. I want this to be the ultimate program out there regarding trading psychology. But I won't lie to you, as the content gets richer, I will also start raising the price because a lot of time and effort is going into this. A lot of my personal experience as well. I want this program to be maybe the first, but hopefully the last educational program you'll ever buy when it comes to the psychology of trading. I am showing you what works, okay, and what will give you results.